Hi, I'm Julie. Welcome to the SoCal Garden Haven. Come along with me as we explore my Southern California garden, discovering what's growing, and finding a little peace and happiness along the way. If you watched my hollyhock video, which I'll link below, this is the stalk with all the spent blooms. So it's done flowering. And the exciting thing is each of those blooms is full of seeds, which is so great because I can plant a whole bunch more for next year. So the hollyhock is a biennial, as I mentioned in my video about them, the other video. And that means that you plant it the first year. It grows vegetatively, meaning all of its leaves. And then the second year it flowers. So this was the second year for this guy. And then after the flowers were done, it created these seed heads, which you can see just this one is full of seeds. And there's a bunch of them on here on the stalk. So I'm going to be able to harvest a ton of seeds. And I may leave a few for the birds because I'm not sure if they like hollyhock seeds, but they might. So the hollyhock is what is known as an open-pollinated or heirloom flower for the most part. So most of the varieties that are sold are open-pollinated. And that means that you can replant the seed like I'm going to do and get pretty much the same plant after you plant. Now some seeds are hybrid. They're F1 hybrids, which means that they've been hybridized. They've been created by mixing different plants together. That's something that seed hybridizers do. So for instance, a lot of common tomato plants like Big Boy, Better Boy, those are hybrids. Hollyhocks, though, for the most part, like I said, are open pollinated, which means that I can plant these seeds and I'll get pretty much the same thing as I did last year. Now, what happens when you plant an F1 hybrid seed that you've saved is that you have no idea what you're going to get. So here is the seed packet, and as you can see on the back there, it says open pollinated. So that's my guarantee that this is an heirloom variety that is going to produce the same beautiful flowers again for me. So we're going to harvest these seeds, and we will, I'll show you how I do that. So what you want to do when you're saving seed, after you determine that the plant is open pollinated and that you want to save those seeds, you want the flower bud to completely finish. So brown up, get done, and as you can see with this hollyhock, see that one right there is closed still. This one is open. So you want to wait until basically they are ready to scatter themselves and reseed themselves. That means that they're ready. If you try to take seed from something that's not ready, the seed won't have matured and you probably won't get it to sprout when you plant the seeds. So you also want them to be brown, paper dry, basically just totally dried up. Some people don't like that look. They want to clean up the garden, but unfortunately, when you do that, you are throwing away seeds. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing that can happen sometimes too is the birds will find it before you do. So one thing you can do is attach a little baggie to the seed head as it continues to cure, to dry for you. So what I like to do when I am gathering the seeds is I use a paper bag, a nice clean dry paper bag, because you want to keep these seeds dry. And then I like to use the paper bag because it allows me to then throw the seed heads or throw the seeds into it, and capturing pretty much all of them that way. And if any fall, they fall into the bag as well. So you want to clean it out pretty good till it's empty, so you can see it's empty. You see I have a bunch in there already, so there's quite a few of them. And here, you take these out as well. Just actually taking just the whole thing and throwing it in there works really well. And this one's another nice one. Oops. Oh, and that one that fell right into the bag there. Took that off. So you can see, pretty easy to do, very fun. You'll know that they're ready when they're just coming out in your hand. Everything feels very dry and parchment-like, papery-like. So just nice and dry it out. And then what you want to do is you want to store them in a cool, dry place. And I generally store them, sometimes I'll store them in little baggies, sometimes I'll store them, I prefer to store them in paper because paper keeps things drier. So here's the seeds. Now that I took out most of the debris, you can see there's at least, I'd say at least 40, maybe 50 seeds here. And that was only, what, 3 or 4 of the heads. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heads, it looks like, of seeds. There's still a few more, including the one that's still closed, so I'm not going to do that one. And I'll, as I mentioned, leave it for a bit of time here to see if the birds partake as well. And this will keep me pretty busy, all of these seeds right here. So I am really happy about this. You can see they're a very interesting seed. Circular, and those that little notching on them as well, and they're pretty flat. Flat seeds, as you can see too, fairly thin. A little bit thickness there, but not a lot. So very fun find in my SoCal garden. Very exciting. Something that we can plant again together. Thanks for spending some time today with me in the garden. If you enjoyed being here, feel free to subscribe and come back again soon.